people that have money and been around money and know how to handle money, and getting the knowledge and wisdom to know what to do with it.
Right now, I think it's more about money for him than having the belts in his possession.
Say Crawford should have talked his talk before when he needed him. He wasn't talking like this. Now that he got the money, the cash, now I don't need WC to get me an opportunity. Now I'm gonna say, yo, fuck y'all, blah blah blah.
Crawford just went off on the WBC, and this time he didn't stay quiet. The boxing world woke up to chaos after the WBC announced it was pulling Crawford's license and taking his super middleweight world title. Their claim is that he refused to pay the sanctioning fees from his last 2 fights.
They ain't gonna tell me. I ain't even tell. Apologize? Like, who the fuck you think I am? Boy, you better slap your fucking self. Ain't paying your ass shit.
Crawford is calling it straight extortion, while the WBC says it is just following its rules. And now what started as a small disagreement has blown up into a full war between one of the greatest champions in the sport and one of the most powerful organizations. He says the WBC is acting out of greed, and the WBC claims Crawford signed the papers and knew the fees from day one. And after he made a huge $50 million payday in the Canelo fight, this clash has gone nuclear. But what actually set it off? What pushed one of the most respected fighters in the game to turn against the system that once crowned him champion? This is where the belt, the money, and the politics all crash together to create the biggest boxing controversy of the year.
Sanction fees for 2 fights. For Madrimov, when Crawford was the WBC welterweight champion, he knocked out Spence in a spectacular manner, won the WBC and the Undisputed Championship.
On December 3rd, 2025, the WBC finally confirmed what fans had been whispering for weeks. Terence "Bud" Crawford had been stripped of his world title. The reason was simple failure to pay sanctioning fees for 2 fights: his 2024 bout with Israel Madrimov and his historic September 2025 win over Canelo Alvarez. Both fights were massive, both made millions. But the WBC says Crawford did not pay the required fees, and that decision cost him more than a green belt. It cost him his undisputed status, the legacy-defining crown he spent his whole career chasing.
So the WBC have stripped Terence "Bud" Crawford of his super middleweight world title after unpaid sanctioning fees, and have now officially ordered Hamza Shiraz versus Christian Mbili to fight for the title next. Lester Martinez has been made mandatory for the winner.
Within hours, the WBC board made their move. They voted to press forward and announced that Christian Mbili and Hamza Shiraz would fight for the now vacant title, the same belt that had just been pulled out of Crawford's hands. No date, no venue, no real details. But the message was loud and undeniable. Crawford was out. And that's when Bud snapped. Minutes after the news hit, Crawford went live.
Fuck you talking about pay you $300,000. What makes you so motherfucking better than any other sanctioned bodies? Huh? Answer that question. What makes you better than WBO, the IBF, or the WBA? Everybody accepted what I was giving them.
In an 8-minute social media eruption, he let everything fly. No filters, no PR polish, just pure, uncut frustration. You, the WBC, you got the green belt, which doesn't mean __. The real belt is the ring belt, and it's free. You want me to pay you more than the other sanctioning bodies because you think you're better than them? Man, you can take the __ belt. It's a trophy anyway.
But you, the WBC, think that you better than everybody, don't you? So since you, the WBC, and you got the fucking green belt, which don't mean fucking shit, fucking real belt is the ring belt, which is free, motherfucker. What are you talking about?
The video spread like wildfire. Millions of views, thousands of comments, and one message that couldn't be ignored. Crawford was done playing by the WBC's rules. He didn't just criticize the organization. He went straight for its heart. President Mauricio Sulaiman. Crawford accused him of running boxing like a pay-to-play club, turning world titles into subscriptions instead of symbols of greatness.
And there's an order, and the WBC is the WBC. I cannot compare to anybody else. And he signed a contract He fought to fight for the WBC title. He fought to fight for the undisputed title. He knows the rules. He does not want to abide by the rules. It's okay. He can go other ways.
Sulaiman fired back later, telling reporters, "I'm not going to entertain or get into a pissing contest with Terence Crawford. If he says what he says, let him say whatever he wants." But by then, the damage was done. The fuse was already lit. Crawford's rant didn't just target one sanctioning body. It challenged the entire system that has controlled boxing for decades. And it made one thing painfully clear. Crawford wasn't afraid to burn every bridge in sight, even if it meant standing completely alone.
So Crawford made in the ballpark of $50 million. The WBC assessed $300,000 sanction fee, with $225,000 going to the fund and $75,000 going to the WBC.
Then came the money bombshell. In the WBC's official press release, they quietly slipped in a stunning detail. Crawford made a staggering $50 million for the Canelo fight, one of the biggest purses in boxing history. Under normal rules, fighters owe 3% of their purse to the sanctioning body. For Crawford, that would have been roughly $1.5 million. But to help make the mega fight happen, the WBC cut him a deal, slashing the fee to just 0.6%, about $300,000. And still, Crawford didn't pay. He called the entire system a cash grab, accusing sanctioning bodies of hiding behind tradition while bleeding fighters dry in the name of honor.
What he did is a little bit like going out to a restaurant, having all the best caviar and lobsters, and the bill comes and you go, "I ain't paying that," and you just walk out. Now, you sat down at the table, you wanted to eat all the good stuff, you got to pay your dues and you got to pay.
Promoter Hearn even jumped into the chaos, telling reporters that Crawford's behavior was like eating at a 5-star restaurant and then refusing to pay the bill. "You can't eat the lobster and skip the check," he said. But Crawford's stance was never really about the money. It was about the principle. He wanted to shine a light on what he believed was a long-standing pattern of greed, a system where fighters risk everything while sanctioning bodies sit back and collect. And this time, Crawford wasn't backing down.
Terence Crawford's right. And it's rich as from the WBC, because if they upheld all their rules in their little manifesto, if they upheld them all the time, on time, then do you know something? They might get a bit of sympathy from me here. When you have guys holding #1 positions in weight divisions.
As Crawford's rant exploded across social media, the boxing world instantly split in two. Some hailed him as a hero finally saying what everyone else was too scared to admit. Others said he'd gone too far, calling him reckless for biting the very hand that helped make him a star. And leading the charge on the criticism side was Garcia, who didn't hold anything back during his appearance on Ring Magazine's Inside the Ring show.
Say Crawford should have talked his talk before when he needed him. He wasn't talking like this. Now that he got the money, the cash, now I don't need WC to get me an opportunity. Now I'm gonna say, yo, fuck y'all, blah blah blah. To me, that's a little cowardice, on his part. But guess what? Only thing I don't agree with is, why is it $330,000? That's what
Garcia said Crawford should have spoken up when he needed the WBC, not after he got rich and felt he could walk away. He called it cowardice, accusing Crawford of hypocrisy for only rebelling once he had the money to do so. He wasn't alone. Many insiders warned that Crawford was setting a dangerous precedent, one that could spark chaos in a sport already tangled in politics and egos. But while some saw ingratitude, others saw something different, a fighter finally taking full control of his own destiny.
Told niggas kick off, kick rocks, kiss ass. Listen, to be honest with you, he brought a lot of light that I didn't know about when it came to the sanctioning fees. And it seems like one big extortion game.
Rapper and sports commentator Cameron quickly joined the debate, and his take was explosive. He shined a spotlight on the sanctioning fees, calling it one big extortion scheme. Floyd said it first, he added. Belts just collect dust. The money is what really matters.
I seen Floyd say it before, belts collect dust, the money is what really matters. As long as he gets his medal, his money and everything else, I think we already know he's a perennial world champion, probably the pound-for-pound champion right now. So it doesn't really matter about the belts, even though you want the belts. I also seen him post all the belts that he had in his house. So right now I think it's more about money for him than having the belts in his possession.
Cameron's comments resonated with fans tired of the endless alphabet soup of boxing titles. WBC, WBA, IBF, WBO, all charging fighters for belts they've earned in the ring. To him, Crawford wasn't rebelling. He was exposing the system. He reminded everyone that Crawford's 42-0 record, his dominance across multiple divisions, and his pound-for-pound legacy can't be erased by any sanctioning body. Belts come and go, Cameron said, but greatness doesn't need approval. For the culture, Crawford became a hero, a fighter taking on a machine that had been untouchable for decades. But the WBC didn't stay quiet. In a TV interview, Mauricio Sulaiman tried to steer the conversation back to reality.
Contrary to the belief of the 3% that the rules state, on large-scale events, we do modify the sanction fees, and which is unfortunate. Most of that money was allotted. It was going to go to the Jose Sulaiman Boxers Fund, which helps so many fighters around the world.